What's going on? How's it going today, guys? Drake Van Hall here, back with another video. My goal today really is to talk through these 5 things that construction businesses typically get wrong. I see these all the time when I'm working with my clients, so I want you guys to listen, take in some of this information. But first, if you could, it really means a lot to me if you go down below, like the video, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. We're trying to put out as much content as we can for you guys, so please do that. It really helps us out. So guys, if you're ready for this, here are some of the words of encouragement I just want to start us out with because, these are not fun things that we're going to talk about today. And you might go, oh, this hits really close to home. And why are you talking about my business like this? But I want to start out by just saying, hey, if you are actually listening to these videos out there looking for some different ideas and trying to learn, you're way ahead of most of the competition. Most people are happy with just same old, living with what they've done. But if you're taking this next step, I want you to hear this, that these are some words of encouragement that you're on the right track. You're starting to do the right thing. So here are a couple of those issues I want to just tackle. Let's discuss them below. And then let's talk about at the end kind of some things we can do to fix some of these issues and how we can improve going forward. So those are my words of encouragement. Let's move on to the 5 issues that I see these businesses facing all the time. First off is you're not understanding what are the costs that go into performing each job. Now, some of you, your jobs might be small enough that you're not doing any type of job costing where you're taking the direct expenses and applying them directly to a job. At the end, then you would see profitability on each job. Not everybody's doing that. And that's okay because it doesn't make sense on maybe a $500 job. But what you may be missing there is not understanding your true overhead when you're estimating out these jobs. So one of the things I see is the guys go, yeah, usually I'm charging, $500 for this job or, $1,500 or whatever that dollar amount is, but they're just going on a gut reaction. They don't have anything that's telling them, hey, this is the amount of cost that goes into that job, even if we're averaging it. And they don't go, well, I'd really like to get 10%, 50%, 25% profit margin on that job because they don't understand. Okay, maybe it's they buy bulk supplies and they use those over the course of the summer to perform all their jobs. Let's say you're a power washing company and you buy a lot of chemical. You're not buying a 1-gallon container to go do somebody's house. You're buying a 55-gallon drum or whatever, a big tote of all that cleaner, and then you're utilizing some of it on a job-by-job basis. So I think the first step that I see that people are having tough times with is they're going, yeah, I'm making good money on these jobs, but they have no idea what they're really making because they have no idea what their direct costs are. Second item I'm going to talk about is just not tracking your expenses accurately. I see this all the time in small businesses, and it's a common issue. And one of the things I see is, the business owner has a personal credit card and he's running expenses personally for the business. So he's paying for gas, he's paying for meals for the employees. He's just buying, you go somewhere and you needed a new piece of equipment or whatever it was for a couple $100. He's buying that stuff personally, but it's never getting into the business's accounting records. So nobody's ever going, well, this is what we actually bought. These are our true expenses. You're going, I think I spent, probably $3,000 throughout the year over here. But you have no idea what that actually is. So the other thing that I see too is using that business credit card all the time, buying personal items. I've seen this where people are getting groceries with their business card. They're paying for memberships. I've seen guys that are getting haircuts on a weekly basis that do gutters. Like, those are not business expenses. Those are things that need to be separated out and taken as a distribution. And the reason for this is we don't want to be commingling funds. One, we don't want to be missing expenses when we come to tax time. But 2, we don't want to commingle funds with the business. It could violate our LLC. So you got to be careful when we're looking at our different business expenses and making sure we're putting the correct ones in the correct bucket, but making sure we're taking advantage of the tax deductions that we may be missing when we're not utilizing our correct company card. Number 3, and this is a huge one, not paying your employees accurately. Now, a lot of times I'll talk to a business owner and they'll say, yep, my guys out here, they are contractors. I 1099 those guys. And that may be true that you may have contractors out on jobs. Let's say you're building a house. You maybe don't do everything that goes into building a house. You may not pour the foundation. You may not put up the walls. You may not do the siding. You may not do the gutters. Maybe you have different crews that come in and do some of that. Those might be a contractual relationship. However, a lot of guys out there are just saying, hey, these are just contractors, they're not employees, when really they are. The IRS puts out some pretty good guidelines of employee versus contractor out on the IRS's website, and just a simple Google search will kind of break some of that down. But it really comes down to this control idea. And so if you have control over them where you're setting hours, setting their time schedules, they don't really have another opportunity to go take other jobs. They look like an employee. They're probably an employee. And the reason I talk about doing this wrong is it seems fine. Nobody's getting hurt. They're paying the taxes on their end. The issue you can run into is when you file 1099s and you're not withholding money from their 1099s to pay their taxes. The IRS can come back to you and say, hey, you owe us money for back taxes on this. So it can get to be a slippery slope, and it can create some really problematic issues on the state side, especially if there's state tax that needs to be owed or things like that, state unemployment taxes. And if you think about the climate in the world we're living in, the government in the last 2 years has spent an incredible amount of money on small businesses. And if you think that they're not going to try to recoup some of that by people that are doing some shady dealings, you're wrong. So this is something I see all the time, and it's an easy fix. There's so many good payroll processes out there that are really cheap and effective, and we just need to get those employees actually on the payroll so we can do this accurately. Number 4, this is never taking time to review your business's performance. Now, I understand as a business owner, you might have started your business because you're really, really good at whatever your business does. Maybe you're fantastic at framing, or maybe you're fantastic at power washing or landscaping. That's great, but you need to be able to step back as the business owner and be able to go, okay, this is my investment. This business is my investment. It's not my job, it's my investment. How is it performing? So one of the ways we do this is, one, just reviewing financial statements, understanding some of the metrics in your business to really make sure, okay, are we being profitable on these jobs? Are we managing cash correctly? Are our employees not spending too much time, because labor is incredibly expensive? A little foreshadowing to the next point. Those are all things that a business owner does. They're managing customer relationships. They're out soliciting business. They're probably not swinging the hammer anymore. So this is a whole mindset shift that you need to be able to take on as the business owner, and it's difficult. It's not easy. So this is number 4. It's not reviewing the business. It's not looking at the actual information. It's just keeping your head down and moving on. That works for so long, but as you're looking to grow and move up to that next level, it's not effective anymore, and it's not a good use of your time. Number 5, and maybe one of the most important pieces that really is overlooked, is not managing labor on your job. Labor can be a massive killer in service-based and even a ton of construction-based businesses. If you're bidding out a $500 job and you got 2 guys that should be able to knock it out in 2 hours, and you're paying them $25 an hour or whatever it is, that money can add up really quick if they go an extra half hour or an hour over what you expected when you bid the job. Just right there, you just lost $50 of profitability. You lost 10% of your profit because those guys went an hour too long. So managing labor becomes really difficult, and it's an issue because you want to be working on your business, but you also, when you're the business owner and you're out on a job site, those guys work harder when you're there. So what I like to do in this situation is really implement some type of comp structure around these types of employees to really incentivize them to do a good job while they're outperforming those jobs. Because if they're focused on making sure that they're being as efficient as possible because they're going to reap some type of reward for it, that job automatically becomes a better performing job. You don't need to be out there as the business owner constantly supervising, and now you can maybe set up a couple more crews to be able to grow. So managing labor on a job is a key thing, and it's something that's talked about a lot, but this can really skew jobs quickly and make them become really unprofitable. The problem is if you're not understanding those costs that go into these jobs, or you're not tracking any of these types of things, or you have no way to understand how long Joe and Susie were working at this one job, then you don't even know if you're not managing it effectively based on how you bid it. So, a couple of things on how to resolve some of these issues is, and, and like I always say, these are so much fun to always talk about, but really diving in and being a better business manager, a business owner. We got to change that mindset of I'm working for my business instead of I'm working on my business. I'm focused on these metrics. Your business is an investment. You want that investment to be able to kick you out cash, to grow in value. That's the whole point of the reason you got into business. So, taking a couple steps back, finding some time in your calendar, and maybe it's not going to be easy at first. It might be, hey, I need to go sit in the basement while the guys are out working, or maybe I need to go to the office on Saturdays when nobody's in there, and take some time to step back. The other thing I would do is I would find somebody to help you understand some of these things. If this is a whole foreign concept to you, find somebody that has kind of that heart of the teacher that's willing to teach you and walk you through some of these steps. This is something that I find the most value in when working with my clients is being able to show them these different opportunities in their business to help them prevail. So I kind of take it on as a teacher mentality, to where I'm helping them learn, I'm giving them some of the answers, but I'm also challenging them to understand what are we talking about and how does this affect their business. And, and overall, I see great growth out of this because these guys are really understanding, okay, this is what we're doing wrong. These are some practical tools on how to fix that. So, like I said, my name is Drake Vent Hall. I'm the owner of Performance Financial. This is something we do all the time. We help with accounting, tax prep, and then advisory services as well. So, if you'd like to schedule a little consultation and get a hold of us, we'd love to work with you guys. We'd love to talk through some of these issues and help you get through some of these issues that you and your business are facing. All my information will be linked down in the description below. We'd love to get a hold of you, help you guys out. But I'm hoping that videos like these continue to help you learn and grow. So again, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can learn more. And we're going to hopefully put out a bunch of these videos to keep teaching you guys more and more. So appreciate you guys listening, and thank you very much. If you got questions, let me know or comment below. Thanks. All right. We're done. We're done. Testing exit audio. Sound good. I think we're going to call it quits.